Kelly, good morning to you for another segment of Technology Corner here with National
Cheers,
Technology
buddy.
Management. Cheers. Bam. So a few parking lot items before we get too far down the rabbit hole. We go 9:15 a.m. live every Friday where we talk about technology trends, tips and tricks for your business to finally get control of your IT, which you haven't gotten before. So today we're talking about mostly about the cybersecurity warnings that we've been seeing as a part of the Ukrainian-Russian event over in Eastern Europe. And so we'll talk a little bit about that and really how it affects your network, meaning what are you sticking or allowing on your network or in your network. So Kelly, that's what we're talking about this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dave. I wish we had something better to talk about than Russia invading Ukraine, and we wouldn't be human if we wouldn't wish any Ukrainian Americans and really truthfully anybody in Ukraine Godspeed in their fight. And I can't help but commend Vladimir Zelensky, their president, for his courage and his. I love seeing people stand up to a bully and punch him in their mouth. If you watched any of the news, which I usually don't watch, but I watched a little bit last night, and this is just a vile act on Russia's part, and any kind of aggression is an aggression to everybody. So, I hope that this ends peacefully. It doesn't look great. This is why we're always in these wars all over the nation, because what happens over there vastly impacts us, which is what you're hearing about with all these cyber security things. So it's going to be an interesting conversation, and I just wish them Godspeed, and hopefully this comes to a peaceful ending.
Yeah. I hope so too. And I hope with the least amount of casualties as possible, although that's never the case in war. When I was talking to my dad yesterday, I just mentioned to him, I read this book called Putin's People, how the KGB took back Russia and then took on the West. And it's really just a biopsy about Vladimir Putin. And that guy's legit crazy, like KGB mafia lunatic. And so, to your point, hats off to the Ukrainian president for really choosing to stand up to him. And I wish them Godspeed as they do so in this battle.
Dave, I've learned over the years, and I don't mean to make this a political thing, but or a personal development topic, is I learned to assume positive intent and assume that they're right. Putin, as you use the words, could be crazy, but he's a very, very intelligent man and very smart.
Yeah.
His response to Biden was very succinct and very to the point, and it should not be taken lightly. So he could be what you term crazy, but he's very smart, and we would be very silly to assume less than that. So I'm an objective person, and I like to analyze leaders. Putin is a leader. I'm not saying I'm not condoning him. I've just said his response to Biden's response was put on. It said anybody that comes at Russia will be dealt with aggressively, and that is exactly what a leader should say and do. And we'll see what if he stands behind it. It's as strong as your words and as your actions, I should say.
Yeah, I think crazy is almost synonymous with cunning, right? And I definitely figure that into his personality type, Putin's personality type. Very cunning, very smart, like you said, very diabolical. But we'll see. Last time he invaded, he had military action was during the Obama administration. He hasn't done anything in 5 years. And now all of a sudden we're a year and a half into a new administration, and there's struggles and challenges again. I believe
that was Georgia, right? That he invaded and successfully took over. So and we did nothing.
No.
And now we're seeing him do something else. And then, unfortunately, this is like the universe is really. It's very fitting. And the more you ignore something that you know is a problem, it just grows. So now, if he's successful in Ukraine, now the next 4 countries that he could possibly affect are all our allies. And whether we like it or not, we have to be involved. I mean, one of them is Poland. They're right. They're people that we have to protect. They can't do it on their own. We haven't, as you can tell by, we sent 5,000 troops there yesterday. So this is just a life lesson. That of what you ignore will not go away. It just gets worse. So let's deal with it now.
Yeah. You know, my stepdad, who was in the Marine Corps way back in the day, he used to say, talk about your problems, work for a solution, be part of the solution, not part of the problem. But sometimes if solution is punching a bully in the mouth, they need to punch him in the mouth. And I feel like, you know, it's could probably come to that with some of those leaders in Eastern Europe. As we transition though in the conversation, so it's interesting, you know, you talk about the smartness of a lot of the Putin and just a lot of the people I was around him. I was reading on fortune.com and forbes.com and krebs.com. Krebs is a wicked awesome cybersecurity site for businesses. And they claim that over 58% of detected state-sponsored cybersecurity incidences come from Russia. So if that's the case, and we're talking to businesses here in the US, like what do they have to be afraid of knowing that number is so large?
Well, let's pick a better word than be afraid. I don't ever advocate being afraid. I say be concerned and be on the watch. You don't want to be afraid for your children. You're concerned and you're watching. We take every precaution. We teach our children to protect themselves and to be smart. So that's all I'm preaching, is to be cautious. You don't go and pull all your cash out of banks and hoard water and stuff. Remember what the definition of cyber is. Cyber is just computers, meaning a computer network, a computer event. So when people hear cyber security or cyber attack, they think ransomware, they think malicious. There's so many different versions. It could be just spamming you is a cyber attack. And that's what they did during the 2016 election. Let's talk facts. The facts are what we know really happened. We have some ideas that maybe they manipulated the election in other ways, but they definitely spammed Facebook and spammed social media and emails with defaming facts about, at that time, Hillary Clinton. So he was against Hillary, and they got Trump elected, which was probably not the smartest choice for them. It's neither here nor there. What they're going to do, they've used this in Ukraine, is they used multiple different myriads of computer warfare against them. And number one simplest issue is doing these, what they call denial of service attacks. And all that means is, think of it as somebody coming, 100,000 people coming and knocking on your door at the same time, and you can't walk out the front door anymore. You got to go out the back door. It just shuts down access to that. And that's what they do for critical infrastructure like banks, power grids, anything electrical. I said power, electricity, and then money, money, food, and internet are the most important things anymore. So that's
denial
what
of
they'll
service
go
is
after.
Going to be the first big type of attack, is what I hear you saying, right?
What did you say?
I said denial of service. It sounds like denial of service is one of the big modes of attack that they will hit.
And we'll never hear about it. Just all of a sudden, your bank's website will be offline.
Yeah.
And believe me, why we're having this meeting is because with the same type of levels of defense that the banks have and that the national security has is what they're telling all of the U.S. businesses to do. If you get on the CNN or even Fox News, the report, they said exactly what we've been preaching every single week. Make sure you have solid backups. Make sure you're doing your patching. Make sure you don't click on frickin' malicious links. And that's what we've been preaching over and over and over again. And in our white paper on our www.trustntm/offer and best offer ever, the two sites, we issue the 7 things that you should look at. And it's nothing more than a help you guide. It's guys, look at this information, ask your people inside and say, are we doing this? Please confirm it. Show me a report. And it's nothing more than you would do with your CFO. If you're an owner of a business, you have meetings weekly or monthly or quarterly, and you have bank statements and you go over your quarterly profits and loss. You need to meet with your IT team and you need to go over your quarterly backups, security patching, and cyber, all methods of training and or firewalling. Just there's a list. We gave you the list.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to protect. What I love doing is being the last line of defense of helping protect people. You know, what started out as 25 years ago was NTM helping companies streamline processes and literally get companies their first ever internet connection and teach companies how to use the internet. And fun business analyst stuff has turned into an all out, knock down, drag out war to keep the bad actors out. And you know what? We're winning and we're going to continue to win, but you got to listen to us.
Yeah.
And we're here to help. So use our resources, be smart, and download that white paper and ask your people, are we doing this? And if you don't have people, call me. You got me. I'm a great person to have. And our work family are awesome.
I agree. Yeah. So denial of service is going to be the big first wave. The other thing that you mentioned is meeting with your tech team or your tech provider once a quarter to go over these things. So if a business is, like you said, concerned, not afraid, concerned about getting hit and they want to prevent it, what are the things that their IT firm or their IT team should be going over with them in these meetings every quarter?
Well, the number one thing, and it's and I hate to keep going back to our white paper, but it's get a report of your security patching. And you know, all too often, us as business owners, we don't have the time. We just look over at our IT person. Hey, are we doing patching? Yep, we're doing it. Of course, they're going to say that.
Yeah.
They prove it. It's like looking over at your CFO going, do we have money in the bank? Yeah, we do. You're going to go, give me our aging report. Give us our profits and loss and let me see. I want a bank statement and I want our accounting package statement. You're not going to take their word for it. You're going to look at it. It's what prudent people do. So say, give me a report. Every single company in the world can give you a report, whether you're a managed service provider or you're an internal IT provider. If they say they can't, that's the first red flag. The first red flag that says, whoa, we're probably not being patched. And believe me, this patching is as elementary as it sounds, is a big hole, and lots of companies aren't doing it. I just met with a major school system that looked at me and goes, 100% we're not patching, 100%. And they knew it because they were working with Microsoft to do it. It's a big job. It's a dedicated job for one person for an average, for a decent sized company. So we do it. We do it well. We have great partners. We have layers of doing it. So weird things that do happen though, is some of these softwares can get hacked. Russia, what we do know, and it's been confirmed, attacked SolarWinds, which SolarWinds is a known network providers. It's supposed to do the updates. So they go after a lot of things. Good to know. NTM doesn't use SolarWinds. We used to long before this issue. We're always evaluating and getting better. But I said this to you yesterday, Dave. Death, taxes, and a cyber event is going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it's when. But what is it going to be? We're going to be prepared. We're going to be aware. We're going to alert. We're going to monitor. We're going to be ready. Luckily, NTM, I'm going to knock on wood, but I'm not afraid. We've never had a major ransomware attack. We've had events, and we mitigated them quickly because of our several lines of defense. And so we're ready. I want to help, and it's. These guys are good, man. This is a government agency. And, you know, I was thinking, I squirrel, I tangent, I go off on these things. I was thinking, why can't we just shut off the internet to Russia? Like that, literally, if you think about it, forget money, forget electricity, just shut off the internet because everything is run through the internet. Yeah. There's several network access points over in Europe. Shut it off. That would cripple them. They can't communicate to their freaking armies. They can't. I mean, we still do CB radio, but that's only works in certain distances. it dumbfounds me how certain things we don't do. And I'm sure that I'm not smart enough or big enough to understand the impact of what that would do globally. But what we have to worry about as us small to medium-sized businesses here is Russia attacked SolarWinds for Ukraine, and it trickled all the way down to the United States and hit any managed service provider that was using SolarWinds. And lots of bigger companies use SolarWinds for their network monitoring tool or network management tool. So it trickled all the way down and had collateral damage on them. So what Russia releases to attack Ukraine or even the United States for sanctioning them, we have no idea what it means to the average business. But what we do know is if you take and you check off the 7 things that are on our list to prepare, you will be very well prepared against any issue. If you can check them all and say, we're good, I would guarantee you 110% that you would be remiss for any issues, even all the way through to the simple cyber click or clicking on a malicious email, which we've told no. But
let's come back to something I want to come back to. You mentioned network monitoring a couple minutes ago, which ties into the title of today's Tech Corner event, which is talking about be careful what they're allowing and sticking on their network, right? Oh, yeah. So if we're taking a look at, we're thinking about almost 60% of cyber attacks coming from Russia. They're coming from really smart government-sponsored agencies or organizations, like you talked about. And you're talking to businesses, school districts in the greater Detroit, Michigan, Northern Ohio area, and they have a bunch of remote employees. What does that look like for them? How are they supposed to protect all their employees if they're not in the physical office?
Oh, Dave, they're supposed to download our freaking white paper and check off our 7 points. What does that mean to them? It means that they're trying to cripple our economy, and they're doing a good job of it, and they can do a better job of it. I mean, if we just wait a couple of days and we'll just see what happens and see if we see Amazon go down, Amazon Web Services, not Amazon the thing, but that will go down too because it's in Amazon. If we see Outlook go down, some of Microsoft things go down, if you see your website go down, if you see internet slow down, do I think that they're sophisticated enough? And this is just my opinion, and I am not smart and I'm not Nostradamus, but I don't think that. I think we've learned over the years to not have critical infrastructure to be a single point of impact. When we had the blackout here in the Midwest 20 years ago, we learned to have diverse paths of everything. So do I think that they could come and tomorrow, like why we thought Y2K and everything was black? No, I don't. We're too smart for that. Can they make it very disruptive? And truthfully, I think that that's what some of this is with a division of the left versus the right. It's that division keeps us strife and keeps us at high alert, and you're not your best self. So even if someone's sitting at home, an IT guy sitting at home because he knows he's not doing his patching or doesn't have accurate backups or hasn't even tested a backup, and he's sitting at home chewing his nails and he's not freaking eating, or she is not taking care of themselves, that has a trickle-down effect to their family. And we don't want any of that. No. So just reach out to NTM with a few little flip of the wrist and a rolling eyeball. We can say, yes, you're covered. Yes, or no, you're not. Or here's what you got to patch up. And would you like us to help you? No questions asked. There's no gimmicks. There's no nothing. We're just out here giving back, saying we believe in America. We believe in Michigan. We believe in the Midwest and Florida. We want to help. Those who know me and those who watch our videos, I mean, I care. I care a lot, and I want to protect you. And I say and that sounds very arrogant. Our work family is outstanding. We had dinner last night as a leadership team, and we've never been better. And I'm very proud of them. And I love every one of them. And I love all of our clients. And this is still a very safe and good time, but we got to dig in, and we got to be kind, and we got to be patient.
Yeah, agreed. Kelly, the offer that you talked about, the 7 steps, the 7 things you need to consult with your IT provider, trustntm.com/offer. What is our audience going to learn by going through that and downloading that? That's important to them.
Yeah, it's termed because it was meant to be a little bit of a sales thing, but it's kind of turned into just please read it to just protect yourself. It's the 7 things your IT provider doesn't want you to know, and it's funny. It's meant to be a little funny because you and I are funny guys, but take it seriously because it is the whistleblower, so to speak, and all you got to do, and some of it we don't even know, like. We were ahead of our time when we said, hey, insurance companies aren't going to cover you. What's happened now? We have probably 10 different audits sitting on our email right now from our customers, insurance providers saying, guess what? You guys are awesome. Now we want you to add this step and this step and this step. And it's like, holy cow. The beauty part about it is NTM has been sitting back. You watch all of these videos, you get on our YouTube, and we've been screaming and yelling. So here's Kelly saying, I'm not trying to say I told you so. I'm just saying you need to address these 7 issues sooner rather than later, because if you don't, you're either going to have an event or your insurance company's going to freaking make you do it. Yeah. So why not have NTM help you do it now versus having to do it when they tell you to do it. And then, by the way, you're going to have to pay somebody to do it. And worse yet, maybe your partner doesn't know how to do it, and you're stuck writing a check under duress because your insurance company won't cover you.
Yeah.
And for heaven's sake, don't. It's on our freaking thing. Integrity and honesty is our core value. Yeah. Do not just check the boxes because the insurance companies will not pay. You might as well just not have the insurance because they're not going to pay. And guess what? The managed service provider's insurance is going to pay. You're going to be left holding the bag. Address it.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Believe me, you will thank me for it. It is not as painful as it sounds, especially if you have a good partner like National Technology Management. And there are others out there. It's not just NTM. There are great providers, but there are a lot of clowns. And there are a lot of less thans, and you probably know if you're feeling it in your gut that your partner isn't as up to snuff. You're probably right.
Yeah, agreed. Kelly, where can people learn a little bit more about NTM, not necessarily the offer, but us as a whole?
Well, our website, which it's beautiful, and we're going to be doing some enhancements. We're always getting better, but our website is www.trustntm.com. That's trust National Technology Management.com. And you can always reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help. 248-808-4888. Shoot me a text message, give me a call, and just say, Kelly, our insurance company saying this. What have you seen? Hey, we have backups. We have this little disc that we plug in every day, and I take it home. Is that good enough? No.
You're like, please don't stick that in.
We have everything in the cloud. Do we need? Yeah. This is the biggest one. We don't have any critical infrastructure at our office. Everything's in the cloud. We don't need any cyber protection. We don't need any insurance. Yes, you do. So here's a news flash. It ain't going away. Yep. We're here to protect you, and there's easy, simple ways of doing it.
Love it. Kelly, trustntm.com/offers, where they can download that 7 steps and 7 things and the checklist to get healthy. And this has been another great edition of Technology Corner. Thank you, my friend.
Have a great day, buddy. Talk to you soon.
You too.